everyone, Val here, aka Isilarieon, and welcome to my channel. Today I am doing yet another Vlogmas video. It is day 4 and I'm gonna be talking about my December favorites. So to kick things off, I'm gonna dive right into the beauty products. So first off is the skincare fave. My skin is acne prone, which often leads to hyperpigmentation, so whatever products I'm using most of the time has to make sure it's not, irritating my skin. And you'll be surprised how much irritates the skin. Like, I didn't think my skin was that sensitive, but it was good. I found out the hard way. So yeah, I picked up the Drunk Elephant Jelly Cleanser. It's imbued with cantaloupe and glycerin. It's not heavily scented, it's really light, and it's so soft on the skin, and it's supposed to help manage balance the pH of your skin and strip away the makeup. It does that so well. I feel soft after using it, and it's one of those things that doesn't make me break out. Have you ever had a cleanser break you out? That is ridiculous. I had to change once or twice. I switched between this cleanser and my Cetaphil cleanser. They both work excellently. I first of all picked up this cleanser as a birthday gift from Sephora, and I bought a bigger version of it because it was so amazing. I just didn't pack it with me because I was going home and I didn't want to check in a bag. That's my cleanser right now. Then my first beauty fave is my Milk Hydro Grip Primer. Now, I have been lacking in the primer game recently because whatever I'm using seems to break me out more. Even when I wash my brushes and I change my foundation, I think the primer breaks me out. So, and I wanted something that didn't leave me too dry during the winter time too. So, and trying out Jackie Aina's recommendation for this primer. This is my second batch technically, and the first batch has been going strong since like the summer. And yeah, I definitely enjoyed using this primer a lot. It has like this tacky feel when you apply it on. It hydrates your skin. Like, it's supposed to be a hydrating primer because it has like aloe vera in it, right? So it hydrates the skin. It makes it sticky, so when you're putting foundation on, it's actually gonna stick onto your primer. And what else could I really say about this primer? Like, I haven't received any breakouts from this primer, like, cause believe me, I did a lot of tests to make sure I wasn't gonna break out with this primer, and it worked fantastic. So if you ever want to try primer that will work on your oily combination skin, I would suggest this one very much. Next up in beauty faves is the Fenty Beauty Sunstalker bronzer, and I'm using the shade Cocoa Naughty. Now, I've always wanted a bronzer. Nothing ever really worked for me as a bronzer because, I don't know, I just didn't understand how to use it most of the time. So when Fenty Beauty came out with this, getting to choose my shade, I know there was like a bunch of shade issues with this bronzer, and not everything, they wanted them to expand even more, which would be ideal, but I wanted something that wouldn't make me come off too red, but I wanted something that wouldn't look like my skin, right? Like, it would be able to show through as well. And I think Cocoa Naughty improved. It was my first time using the bronzer, and I really thoroughly enjoyed using this product a lot. Next category is self-improvement habits, and the habit I picked up recently is journaling. Although I started this pretty late in the year, I have really thoroughly enjoyed journaling throughout. I mean, getting to explore other aspects of myself, be it creatively, emotionally, just with managing time, being critical of myself, or just penning down a significant moment I really want to remember. I have really enjoyed this. I think the biggest takeaway for me journaling this month is that I haven't been the kindest I could be to myself, and that's evident when I look over the previous entries. I see the kind of pressure I placed on myself. I see the thought process I'm in when I fail to meet an expectation, and those thoughts are not, they will be toxic if it was a friend saying it to you. And I'm glad I got to realize that and like make improvements when that was happening, because I can see it in my journal as well. Like when I start thinking that way, I make corrections not to feel that way. And this makes me so thankful to Anna Akana, because her videos on this kind of topics really help me be more mindful of when those things were happening. And yeah, I find myself now when I'm in a bad situation, instead of going, why is this happening to me, I go more like, what lesson am I trying to learn from here? What can I do differently, right? I find that gives me more answers than the why, and it's very, very productive. So if you guys ever want to see how I set up my bullet journal, I have a couple of videos on my channel. I also post pictures of my mood trackers and cover pages on my Pinterest, so follow that and you should get some updates. But you guys should realize it's not about how cute or how elaborate your doodles are on your bullet journal. It's more about whether it makes you mindful of yourself. So please invest in a bullet journal. It's really good. It really helps. So we're moving on to music, and the artist of this month for me is FKA Twigs. Now you probably heard of her, you probably not, but I think most of you should have heard of her. She's amazing. I love her Madeline Experience album. It's been out for a while, but I just really got my listens in, and oh my god, I love the entire album. The entire vibe of it is just beautiful. It's sad. It really does tell a story, which is always what I want from a music album, of course, and it's just amazing. I first became a fan of FKA Twigs when I heard 2 Weeks on Mr. Robot, and I'm like, yes, that's my jam. I don't know how to explain it, but that's what I'm into. And from that, I just grew in love with her. I love seeing all her concert videos. I really want to go to one of her concerts soon, but I love seeing all her concert videos. And I guess one thing I really did like from FKA Twigs is just her sound, the visuals she creates when she does music videos, just her overall aesthetic. It's just really pleasing. It's very enjoyable. And all her songs right now are technically on a playlist of mine that I use for writing, but these 5 right now are my top favorites from her album. She has a total of 9 songs, so I mean, I love all of them, but these 5 are definitely the favorites I listen to all the time. For film faves, I am currently loving the DC CW crossover event, you know, the Crisis on Infinite Earth. If you are a comic book nerd, or just, you know, someone who watches you know, superhero movies casually, you will enjoy this. It's really nice, and I believe the writers for this crossover really spoiled the fans. Obviously there are issues with, you know, the crossover. Some people can nitpick. I will too, but you know, overall I really love it. I think they really spoiled the fans by bringing all those cameos. Like when I saw Tom Ellis Lucifer, when I saw Tom Welling Superman, when I saw Kevin Conroy, when I saw Helena, that's from the 2002 Birds of Prey TV show, I was like, like screaming. Okay, not screaming, but I was just so excited to see all those cameos. And even the story on without the cameos is kind of amazing too. I'm hoping that things work out for everyone there, but you know, I don't know exactly what the writers want from how exactly they want to do the story, whether it's gonna be exactly like what the comics did, or like with only one Earth remaining, or if they're gonna save all those Earths in the end. I'm sorry, no spoilers, but I think you should have seen it by now. It's pretty late into the year. The last 2 episodes are gonna be coming out in January. Another thing I really liked is just how Lex Luthor was Lex Luthor. That's how I'm gonna leave it. I'm not gonna say anything else in case you haven't watched it, but how Lex Luthor was Lex Luthor. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, I think 100. But yeah, that's how amazing that ending was. So I really liked this crossover. It was really fun to watch. It really made me get out. Like, I'm not the biggest comic book fan. I don't know every single thing to know about comic books, but seeing all of that happening, the cameos, the storyline, the characters, and the unpredictableness of the entire thing was just, it made me feel like the biggest fan in the room. It was so fun. For my next film fave, it's not actually out yet, so I don't know what's to rave about, but I definitely love the trailer. I mean, Wonder Woman 1984 has me hooked. My favorite moment has to be seeing her riding the lightning. That was epic beyond proportions, and I love the gold armor she had on. Like, I didn't know it was from the comic. Like, she had an outfit like that from the comic, which was interesting. Like, I've seen her through her biker girl phase. I've seen her with the long pants. I've seen her like with the silver plating instead of the gold, right? So I was just like really curious as to what this particular armor signifies in the storyline. I was considering picking up the comic and reading it, but I don't know if it's a potential spoiler for me. So maybe after the movie I can read it. But maybe it's just a homage, who knows? But you know, I'd rather be safe than sorry. But I think my favorite Wonder Woman costume yet would have to be the one she had on the cover page of Annual 2 when she helped the Starless Sapphires. You know, it was like this purple armor that had like slight alterations to, you know, the classic Wonder Woman look. It was so cute. I definitely adore that armor. I don't know if I'm ever gonna see it recreated somewhere else, but it was definitely my favorite. I even bought that issue because of the cover page. It was so beautiful. It was well done. Anyways, enough of a gushing about the dress. I am definitely looking forward to this movie. The trailer was really bomb. It got me really excited, and yeah, we'll see how things turn out. Alright guys, those were my December favorites. Did you like my favorites? Is there anything you would like to try out? Do you have similar favorites to me? Just let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in day 5. Bye!